All right, guys. So I kind of briefly mentioned in the intro that we were going to be going over topics that, we need to talk about life skills. And I briefly mentioned this whole thing about New Year investing in you. So, as we're starting off the new year, it's January. In a few weeks, you guys should start receiving your W 2s and your 1099s. So, tax season is about to come upon us. One of the things that I want to mention to you guys, you should not start to be thinking about taxes only in January. So, this preparation, if you haven't had a chance to talk to a financial planner or an accountant, your tax preparation should happen throughout the year. I know a lot of people, they get hired by a job, they fill out the W 4, and that's the last time they've ever done it until something happens. And so I'm going to share a story with you about why. And remember, I mentioned this in the first video, the transitions video, about how at different stages of our lives, we need to adjust, adapt, and pivot. So, let me start with something that is actually needs to be addressed first. This is not legal advice or financial advice. These are just me explaining things that I've gone through and experienced, and hopefully you learn through my experience. What I recommend is that you find a lawyer, you find an accountant or financial planner that can go through these things with you. And I know some of you are like, stop. They're like, I can't afford a financial advisor. I don't have an accountant. And here's the one thing that I will tell you. As a lawyer, I did a lot of services pro bono. Pro bono for gratis. It's free. Most professionals, lawyers, accountants, doctors, yes, doctors, Doctors Without Borders, do services volunteer. And so one of the things I always recommend to people, first of all, do you have a bank? If you have a bank, your bank offers free financial planning services. So even if you can't afford to go and hire a financial advisor, if you have a bank or a credit union, they have a department that will sit down and discuss that with you. Your bank in there, use those resources. The other thing is, like I said, most places, I'm a lawyer, so most bar associations, your local, if you're from a big city, the New York, Chicago, LA, there's a bar association. They will have pro bono services. So if you need legal advice, there's that. If you are starting a business, if you need accounting advice, guess what? If there is an MBA school nearby you, that MBA school more than likely has a clinic that offers advice on starting a business. If they have an accountant clinic, you can probably get free advice there. So avail yourselves, even if you financially can't afford to pay for a financial planner or advisor, avail yourself of free resources. So there are resources that are there. So before you put out money to some places like, give me your money and I will make you debt free, do your research. And I'm going to sound old school, but I was like, if you can take time to figure out which phone is the best phone for you, which vacation is the best, take a little time to invest in something that's going to have a long-term impact on you. So the decisions you make for your finances and your taxes are going to have a bigger impact on you than the cell phone you buy or the sneakers you buy. So there are resources, like I said, go to your bank, schedule an appointment with your bank. Tell them you want to talk to a financial planner or advisor. That is a free service. If you have legal questions, reach out to the bar associations in your city. There's always a free clinic, a legal clinic that can help you. Like I said, if you have questions about accountancy or something like that, you have a finance question, if there is a state university or a state college nearby that has an MBA program, in finance or accounting, most likely they have a clinic where they offer free services where you can get that advice. So just for those who are like, oh, you're assuming everybody has a financial planner. No, I'm not. Because like I said, I'm first generation college, first generation law. You don't know what you don't know. So reach out and avail yourself of those free things. That being said, we're going to circle back to tax season. Tax season is coming up. And the thing is, you should be looking at your taxes and finances throughout the year. Did you get a promotion? That bonus is taxed at a different rate than your regular salary. These are all questions that need to be addressed. And I'm going to give you an example of why, like I said, you should be checking in on yourself because you are your biggest investment. And you should be checking in on, okay, financially, I think this is what's happening. You're planning on that promotion and that bonus. So, and here's where I'm going to repeat this probably in each session. Anytime you have a major life change, birth, life, divorce, marriage, adoption, promotion, you bought a house, you need to do a check-in with an accountant, a lawyer, your financial planner, because those are going to impact you. And here's the cautionary tale. So, dear friend of mine, we're both first generation college, first generation law. We worked hard, all this other stuff. She received a promotion, and it was a wonderful promotion, wonderful time. I was like, woohoo, go girl. You grind hard. Finally, tax season, she tells me, oh my God, IRS hit her with she got her tax bill, instead of a refund, was $14,000 she had to pay the tax man. Because that promotion kicked her up to a different tax bracket, much higher than she anticipated. And like I said, and it's not like she's a millionaire, but nobody wants to write a check to the IRS for $14,000. So this is why I'm saying, for anything, it's tax season. For tax season, most corporations and people with money, December is the month where they're like really hitting heavy with their accountants and their financial advisors to like, okay, this is what I spent during a year. What is January when I file those taxes going to look like? So they are not surprised. So you shouldn't be surprised by, oh my gosh, I'm owing, because that December check-in is like, what do we do to cushion the blow? If I am going to owe, can I lessen that? How can I do things that are going to be a deduction for me? That's a conversation you need to have with either your accountant or financial advisor. Probably better you're having that discussion with them in tandem together, because your accountant's going to know some certain things and your financial advisor is going to give you advice about, okay, I know this is what you're planning short-term or long-term, so maybe you want to change things that way. So that's why I'm saying, and also for people who had student loans forgiven, even though at the federal level, you will not have to pay taxes on that. Some states are requiring that you are going to have to pay taxes on any student loans that were forgiven in 2024. Now, there are exceptions, like if it was public service loan forgiveness, all that other stuff. But there again, anybody that experienced that, like, you, glad you got that loan forgiveness. Thank the Lord for that. However, anybody that had student loan forgiveness in 2024 should have been talking to their accountant and their financial advisor, because guess what? Also, any of that loan forgiveness that happened, if you had a divorce or something like that, it's going to impact that. And I've written articles about that. Run to Rondaisms.com and look at that stuff. So this is why I was like, everything, you deciding to wait until January to review your finances is kind of like not using protection and hoping things work out well. Good luck with that. So again, it's January, it's tax season. That is a conversation that should have been had throughout the year. So, most people, annual review happens either in December, so when you're going to get, when the bonus is going to hit in January, February, or March. Bonuses are taxed differently. You should be running to your accountant, talking to your financial advisor. How should we do this? Do we want that bonus to go to our 401k. How should we do this? And that's going to change each year, because guess what? In 2020, the pandemic hit and it really impacted you differently. So these conversations are conversations that need to be happening when you start off. It's like, okay, this is what I'm thinking my 2025 is going to look like. Have a quarterly check-in. Have a mid-year check-in. Let's see, okay, I spent too much here, or I need to tweak this, or oh my gosh, I have to be a caretaker for a family member, so that's impacting my finances. Or I've gotten sick and that's impacted my finances with FMLA leave or disability leave. These are all conversations and changes that should be fluid. Like I said, so just like with your open enrollment with your company, most of the time open enrollment happens in November, but there is exceptions. Did you get married, divorced, separated? That can have you tweak that plan. Whenever you're having a major life-changing event, you need to go look at your business plan for your life. Since it's January, we're going to focus on taxes. So look at your financial planning and like, this probably needs to be tweaked. This isn't working. Maybe we need to kick that trip that we planned for to something else because something else came up. So for January, if you haven't spoken to a financial advisor, run to your bank. If you can afford, go to, if you have a 401k and it's with Fidelity or Vanguard, I'm not supporting them, but if you have them, reach out to them. A lot of them will offer you a free session of financial planning. So if you've already had, a relationship with them because they hold your 401k or your pension, reach out to them. They are probably going to be more than happy to assist you. So for January, when we're talking about finances, first thing, go talk to a financial planner, or reach out to an accountant to discuss, this is where we are. You should not be surprised when you file your taxes this season. And if there is a surprise, we want to avoid that in the future. So we're going to course correct. So for January, when we're talking about finances, one, have a 12-month plan. Do quarterly check-ins. If you get that promotion, you need to be talking to your financial advisor and your and your accountant about how this is going to impact you. Because if you get that promotion and it kicks you up to a new tax bracket, guess what? You need to go back to that W-4 and maybe adjust those numbers. That is a conversation that you need to have with your planner, because they're going to know where you are, what your goals are, and what you're trying to do with your life. So for January and finances, taxes, first things first, go, and if you have never done this before, like I say, run to your bank, find out about their financial planning services. Or if you have a 401k or a pension, whoever holds your pension or your 401k plan, give them a ring ding. Go online, schedule an appointment. Most of the times those are free. If there is, you want to check in with, the accountant, like I said, we have the ABA has, the American Bar Association does lawyers, but on a local level, the New York State Bar Association, the Chicago Bar Association, the Illinois State Bar Association, a lot of them have pro bono services. Likewise, it's the same for accountants and stuff like that. Sign up so you can talk to someone so that you are it's like your health. If you are only getting a physical once a year, that's all right. But you need to be checking in regularly. If you only have a once a year check-in and something's off, you should not be like, well, my physical's not until November, so I'm going to wait until November before I get this checked. You are going to be like, let me go to the doctor. Something doesn't feel right. When your finances, something happens that throws you off course, don't be like, giving that to Jesus, hoping and praying. Hope, pray, act. So for January, for taxes, for your financial planning, the goal is activation. Find an accountant. There are free services. I already told you how to do that. Find a financial planner. Again, run to your bank, run to your credit union. Who holds your pension on your 401k? Reach out to them, schedule an appointment, say, hey, I've never done this before. I need to figure out financial planning. I need to figure out what's happening. I'm getting a promotion or raise. What should I be doing? What's the best way to invest that money? what, I'm thinking about buying a house. Is it, how do I use this money? So I want you to do that. And that way you are taking responsibility and grabbing hold of your financial future. And it's going to be bumpy, but it's better to be prepared than going in hoping and praying things work out. Thank you guys.